just been on my phone for 5. Break generational curses. Quit yelling at your kids before they go to bed and expect them to sleep well. Quit yelling at your kids in the morning right after they wake up before school and expect them to have a good day. You set the tone for your children. You set the tone for
I hate when men
you
cry.
set the tone for your voice that will always remember in their heads. You become the inner voice. Don't be the inner critic. Speak life, speak love, speak bravery, kindness and hope. Speak wisdom and truth. Most of all, listen to your children.
I find it so crazy that there's so many people in this world that sleep around and don't understand how detrimental it is when you have a child with somebody. You're not just making a baby and conceiving it with somebody, that is a whole life. And I feel like if you're not ready, you have no patience, you're not loving, you don't understand different personality types, you don't understand attachment styles, and you don't understand for the first 7 years how detrimental it is for you to be a good parent, because your child's brain is like a sponge. And a lot of you ladies, I'm sorry, I'm going to say it because there's more single mothers and single fathers. A lot of you ladies rather lay on your back with a guy who makes you feel good than a guy who's actually good for the relationship. I personally do not have kids, and I've always told myself I never wanted kids. And a lot of people always ask me why. Because I understand what it feels like to live in an anxious home. I understand what it feels like to be in an abusive home. I understand what it feels like to be in and out of foster care. I know what it feels like to be homeless. I know what it feels like to be severely abused, that you stop talking as a child. And I personally don't think I would ever do that to my kids. But I am so scared at the thought of even doing something to my child that will make this kid not want to be here or take their life. And because I've experienced with a lot of suicide and a lot of wanting to take my life, and I actually done it, I fear for my future child having those things. And I fear as well getting with somebody who might not be a good fit, and now I'm living with a person who is instilling awful traits in my child. I even get bothered when I see women. They have a little boy, he's 7 years old. Be quiet, suck that shit up, you're a man. He's 7. He can't even regulate his emotions. What do you mean be quiet? Why are you shoving him like that? I don't understand why some people have kids just to run them and be mean to them. They are kids. The way you experience things for the first time in your life, that's what they're doing. You're supposed to be there as a guide and as a tool to lead them, not anchor them down because you belittle them with words, because you beat them down literally. You fuck your kid up every chance you get. You critique your kid from everything it does to the way it looks, to the way it breathes, and then you wonder why your kid's so anxious. Your kid doesn't feel happy. Your kid is suicidal. Your kid doesn't want to be here. And then you wonder why you end up raising a child who grows up to hate you. And all because you want to lay on your back with a man who probably doesn't care about you. Or you want to lay up with somebody, vice versa for men or women, and you're not healing those parts of you. Why do you guys think you could go into a situation having children when you're not even healed? Or at least you haven't even worked towards being healed. I see so many people that are like, I'm going to let the baby just cry it out. Cry it out when it can't regulate its emotions. It is a child. Oh my God, he grabbed Skittles. And what are you going to do? Whoop him to the ground because he grabbed Skittles? He's a kid. Kids love candy. I will never understand people who have kids just to abuse them. I'll never understand people who have kids just to belittle them. I know you messed up as a parent when your kids say that their idol is a celebrity and not you. Literally, like I was raised by my grandparents, y'all, and my grandma and grandpa were my idol even till this day, and my grandpa's no longer with us. I never looked at celebrities and thought, oh, I would love to be like that. I think you guys need to be very careful having these babies and conceiving these babies, especially young men. Women need all the love in the world, and women need a supportive parent, because I see the way a lot of y'all mothers parent your daughters. Y'all mean to your daughters, you compete with your daughters, you belittle your daughters, you treat your daughters like crap. Heal those parts of you as a woman that make you jealous before you have a little mini you or don't have kids at all. And then when you have sons, you better heal that I hate men bullshit, because when you have a son, you're going to run him through the mud because you don't like men. Oh yeah, your father was just like this. And you chose the father. You laid down with the father. You was my heart, my liver, sucking it up. But now all of a sudden he reminds you of his father. You want to beat him down? Make it make sense, ladies. Let's put our emotions to the side and work towards that, and vice versa with men. I speak a lot directly towards women because I'm a woman myself and I understand. You see what I'm saying? So a lot of you women take everything as an attack. Love y'all. You guys are not all bad. This is not all women. I'm talking about a toxic woman and a toxic man. Follow me. Find it crazy that there's people out here that don't educate themselves. There's so many books on how to take care of kids. There's so many books on psychology. There's so many books on how to be a good parent. There's so many people on TikTok even giving you advice. Instead of sitting down and being on your phone all day or not being in tune with your child, maybe you should sit with your child one day and learn them. Maybe you should sit there and actually hear your child out. No one's saying being your kid's best friend. Always be a parent. But at the end of the day, if your kid's not happy and is ready to take their life, whose fault is that for not setting a good foundation for their children? I don't think having kids is for the weak, and I see a lot of weak people having kids and people who have no business having kids, bringing your kids up in poverty, bringing up your kids up in all this disaster that you know you are suffering through. So why would you bring this child into this dynamic? Think about that. Same thing with the women who have husbands or partners that are no longer with him, and you guys brought your kids into this dynamic. Or say a guy told you, I don't want to be with you, and you still have the kid. You're bringing a kid into a dynamic with no father, and you're understanding of this, and yet you're still doing it. Don't understand it. And I'm not trying to be rude, y'all. I'm not trying to bash nobody. But like I said, a lot of men and women now are hurt because of all the stuff that happened to them when they were younger. A lot of women have self-esteem issues because of all the shit their mothers installed into them. You're not pretty, you're not this, you're not that. And your mom's competing with you, your mom's beating you down. Then a lot of women are going through a lot of stuff, and a lot of men because they have absent fathers. You see what I mean? I feel like that's such a sad thing. And I really hope that people that watch this video will sleep with people that actually love them and sleep with people who will actually take care of you if you are to have a baby. Imagine laying on your back with a guy who doesn't see any value in you, and then you have a child with him. Be very mindful of the decisions that you make and be very intentional. You guys are going to do whatever the hell you want, clearly, because we've been seeing babies being made and no marriages. So have fun. But like I said, if you want to break generational curses, make sure you're not bringing your kid into the same environment you grew up in. And I will never understand how you can be sad about your childhood and be sad about all the things you went through just to put your kids through the same shit. Shows me that you didn't really care about yourself and you didn't care about your future kid. I personally do not want to have kids. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, I'm not set out on it, because like I said, y'all, with all the stuff I suffered, I don't want to bring my kid into this dynamic. And I'm not saying I'm chaotic or I do anything, y'all. I think that having a kid is a lot of work and a lot of things, and I don't think that having kids is for everybody, me personally. But God bless you guys. This video made me super sad seeing a black man cry. And like I said, you can tell he probably didn't have a mother in his corner. You could probably tell he had no support system. I definitely can relate to that. And it's very sad because when you have people like this, those parents that never loved you and never valued you and never uplifted you, you go into the world searching for that in others and you never find it, because half the time people are ready to hurt you, let you down, and nobody uplifts you. It's a realistic world, y'all, and there's a lot of good people, but it's hard finding them. So like I said, you guys, be very mindful of the things you instill in your child. Instead of critiquing them so much, maybe you should uplift them. You complain about them not doing their homework. You complain about them acting a certain type of way. When's the last time you did something nice for your kid? When's the last time you had a mother-son date, mother-daughter date, father-daughter date, whatever? When's the last time you actually told your kid, oh, I'm proud of you? When's the last time you didn't scream at your kid to get your point across? You're going to create a dynamic so bad that your kid will not want to deal with you. One of my biggest fears is to have a child, and if I do have one, it never speak to me because I was the worst fucking mother. I don't ever want to experience that. And like I said, y'all, I've seen it before in my life. Be very mindful of how you treat your sons, especially you women who hate men.